The Cape Peninsula University of Technology says the evacuation of students from residences has been a success. That's after reports that some students were left stranded in Tyger Valley on Friday because of NSFAS-related protests. Sibabalo Mdingi is with the South African Students' Congress at CPUT. Joins us tonight for an update. Sibabalo, very good evening to you. So what's happened of these students who were reportedly stranded as of Friday? Where are they now?
Thank you very much. Let me just say, first of all, it's an honor to be on the show today. As above mentioned, my name is Sibabalo Mdingi. I'm a member of the PEC of SARSCO in the Western Cape. So first of all, I'd like to say that the media has had a one-sided approach when tackling the issue of CPUT. We are not protesting for the issue of NSFAS-related credits only, but it's a protest that encompasses the multitude of issues that we currently face at this institution. And all of them come from one point, and that's a lack of transformation that happens here at CPUT. CPUT fails to address issues of students. In fact, they come up and bus students when they could have used the funding that is given to Intercape and these busing and those companies as an alternative way to address the immediate issues of students. Because the students are not fighting for something they do not deserve, but the rights that they have. So we would like to say students slept at the bus there. And CPUT says that its staff was there. Those are blatant lies. There's no staff members of CPUT that slept with students. Students erected a fire themselves, and they sat around the fire, the bonfire, to actually keep themselves warm. CPUT, after circulating pictures of students sleeping there, that's when they decided to take the students to Garden Court, which is a hotel that was nearby. After the media exposed them, that they left students stranded, hungry, and without water. For a whole day, students slept there from 7 until the next day. That's when they were bussed home. So that premature decision CPUT took still now encompasses and makes students suffer. So that's what we are trying to portray here today.
Right. I'll come back to the issue of transformation in a moment, but just on the issue of the students who were stranded on Friday, as you're telling us, have they now all been able to get home because campuses are shut, right?
So not all of them have been able to go home. CPUT still faces an issue of passing those students home. What they've done is that they've taken them to a hotel right now, as I said, at Garden Court. So not all of those students are home currently. Some of them are still at the Garden Court Hotel waiting to see if CPUT is going to have a plan of action on how to pass them home. It also released that students who want to go there can go there, but that's a current issue because if students slept there, how do you then motivate the ones that are currently left at rest to go there? So are you saying that those students must join hunger and starvation when they go there? Must they go and be thirsty for a full day waiting for buses that will bus them home? CPUT has proven that it does not have transformation within its thinking ability. It's like they were PhD holders that cannot think. They don't have a capacity to lead an institution. So that's why we say that lack of transformation at this institution seems to be a holding factor for advancement.
What then are the conditions at this Garden Court where you say students are currently being housed? You mentioned the issue of hunger. I wonder if they're getting the full service at the hotel. By that I mean, are they getting food? Are they getting something to drink, etc.?
So the gift of the givers assisted in getting them food. So it was not the institution, but the gift of the givers. They gave them water and some food. The institution just provided the temporary accommodation.
So as things stand, do we know how long they're expected to be at the hotel, the Garden Court, I think you said it was?
They say it will be up until tomorrow. But knowing this institution and its delays, we don't have a proper time frame of when those students will be passed home.
Do you know how many students are still at the hotel?
I cannot confirm the numbers,
okay.
Unfortunately.
So on the issue of transformation, for those of us who aren't familiar with the dynamics at CPUT, what is going on? What has now forced you to basically put a halt to your studies and protest in this way? So
the issues of transformation that CPUT faces are a multitude of issues, as I've said above. So in 2016, a signed document was released at council a signed document was released at council that there will be no withholding of CPUT qualification for students that go. Now, there was a reversal of that decision that was taken at council, just like that, that qualifications will now be withheld and students will only receive letters of completion. So we are saying that our argument to the institution is that if a letter of completion is very important and holds ground in the industry, then they must keep the letter of completion and give students their qualification, because if that qualification does not hold ground in the industry, then they must not withhold it. So that's the decision that council took right now. It was just a flimsy decision to just say that it will withhold students' qualification. Second is CPUT currently is also facing an issue of transformation at residences. Our residences face many issues. Residences are unhygienic. Residences face multitude of issues such as Wi-Fi. So there's no issues there's no issues of just NSFAS 60 credit. NSFAS 60 credit is a part of our issues that we face here at CPUT. So NSFAS 60 credit, as a policy of NSFAS, this institution has to speak with NSFAS, because what are they saying about those students that will now be removed from those funding? Are they saying those students must just go home, be uneducated and left outside the periphery of education? So working class students are always at the violation of these imperialistic things that the policies of this country always imposes.
Okay.
So that's what
on the issue of the NSFAS problems, right, as I understand it, there was basically a problem around the funding scheme saying it would not be able to assist, to paraphrase, people with courses that amount to fewer than 60 credits. Why don't you think that is fair? Because everyone who disburses funds or provides loans and that sort of support has a standard.
Now, NSFAS, in its creation or inception, is a funding scheme there for students of the working class. So those are students that do not have the capacity to pay their fees. Now, if you are going to say that you are going to block access to education of students who don't have the money to pay for their fees, then what are you saying those students must do? Because the country does not have an industry skilling program where they skill people through the industry. But the only way you get an education or a quality education is through our universities. And now if you are going to impede or block access to these universities due to funding, when the National Financial Aid Scheme was created for students of the working class who cannot pay those fees, then why do you then block those students from this education?
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Sibabalo, were you saying something else there? Did I miss it?
No, I was just saying that it is created for the working class students. So NSFAS should not have these anti-regressive policies that impede the progress of students.
All right. Sibabalo Mdingi, good to speak to you. Thank you so much from CPUT in Cape Town.